this meet Discord?
We've become stronger.
I can definitely feel my energy rising. I think I'm gonna live.
Yeah.
The power of fun friends has healed me.
GG. Us. Hear my child crying in the other room. Is it bad to say that I'm excited to not have to deal with it right now?
I was gonna say,
Like, it's dope.
that's Jill's problem.
Yeah. Like, good luck.
You have an engagement.
Yeah. And me and the child hang out all day. We watch football. You'll be happy to know that a small child doesn't really care about football at all.
I'm sure.
Yeah, like, try to explain the rules to her, but she's like, hey, I'm only 6 weeks old. I don't know what you're saying.
Blurp said he can hear us all. I'm like, we know.
Really?
Well, it's just your confidence.
The only thing that I can imagine with Blue's luck with like computers and stuff, he's gonna go live and like all of our names will be in the wrong places. Just have to look at it
Fine,
like,
I'll be icebreaker today.
yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Blue with the sweatshirt.
Look at this really cool intro screen. Yeah, it's awesome. Get ready.
What's up, Slurp?
Yeah, he's
Narrate the screen.
Every time I click on his live, it's like me to someone that you posted.
it takes a couple seconds on mobile.
Yeah.
I'm on mobile.
Don't forget, friends, it's September. Insert Twitch ad here.
For real, though.
September can honestly go suck a dick.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it looks like I'm gonna be singing to start the stream. I'm sorry, but it has to be done. And I see someone in the chat that I always serenade, so...
This is an intro screen or a starting soon screen. Do you use one or do you not? Let us know.
Oh my god, what's up, Mastermind? I remembered to disable sound effects this time.
This is how all streams should start. You should narrate your starting soon screen.
Deal all the fucking shoutouts.
I don't
Look at
even
that!
remember
Look at
playing
that like
Overwatch.
backdrop.
There we are.
I don't remember playing that game.
But I have to do
I
this.
don't remember playing Overwatch at all
I'm
recently.
sorry for this. Dream weenus, give me ween to help me through the night. Every time. I can't not. Every time I see him in the chat, I have to. How is everybody?
Sorry, I love that one.
Right?
I believe you can wean me through the night.
Goddamn right. Now let's see if I got this right. I did make a panel shout out thing.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I don't know
This
if that
is the live
worked.
screen, everyone.
I don't know.
This
What
is
happened?
different than the going live stream.
Wait, is it not
Slurp's
showing?
mad.
Are you guys not showing for
yes,
everybody?
No, we're here.
Oh, okay.
We're here.
I was gonna say it's showing on my end.
Listen,
I
you did.
sent you PNG files with no backgrounds.
You know he doesn't understand.
No, you didn't.
I was gonna say.
The ones you
What
sent
Fleur
me,
said.
unless you emailed them,
Hey, Seeker.
the ones you sent me in Discord had the backgrounds, so that's what I had to use.
Blue, you did good on the panel shout out though. The only problem is you forgot like a space between them.
But I did. I swear to God, I made spaces shiny.
Exactly.
I did the enter thing where it was like they were even
yeah,
like
that's like It's
above
like a
each
big
other.
long.
Wow, Shiny Shoes, I guess
God damn it.
we have the same Twitch channel now.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
find us all at twitch.tv.
We're all
Shiny
just there.
Shoes, Wild
God
Size
damn it!
Nick.
I can never catch a break.
We're so cool we made a channel
Yeah.
of 3.
We did.
Good God. Alright, so
I'm gonna
welcome
go
everybody.
to that, URL.
I'm Big Blue D, variety streamer. This is another episode of Out of the Blue. Usually I do that on YouTube, just rant about shit. But I'm gonna start doing some panel streams. I did one for T-Sin. This is the second one I've ever done. Tonight we're gonna be talking about people who feel socially awkward, out of place, just where they don't fit in, how we can, kind of help them feel more comfortable and fit in, the benefits and maybe the pitfalls of streaming for people who feel that way, and more. If you have questions, please post them in the chat, and let us know. If you have suggestions, let us know. We want your interaction. We want your feedback. I think we're gonna start. We're gonna go clockwise. So we'll start with Electric Aggieland.
Oh hell yeah!
Just give a slight
That's me.
just give a little introduction. Like who you are. Your stream. A little bit about yourself. Do you have you yourself felt like this, etc.
So yeah, I'm Adri, or Electric Adriland. I play video games. God, I am so bad at like the tell us about yourself thing. I have definitely struggled with fitting in and kind of feeling like, oh, there's nowhere else I belong. And I used to feel really weird about kind of just jumping into someone's conversation and meeting them. But honestly, that's been really good for me. I wouldn't have met any of you if I hadn't just shown up and been like, hey, I'm Adri. But yeah, you can usually find me playing some sort of bullshit horror or indie game over on my channel, and that about covers it. Love you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining. Alright, so next we're going to go to TTB Carrie. Tell us a little about yourself.
I'm even worse at doing this than Adrian. Okay. I'm just a moody Scottish bitch. I play any games, just anything that will load on whatever platform I'm trying to load it on. I also do music and singing streams sometimes, which is like definitely somewhere that I struggled doing those for ages because of not feeling like either I was welcomed or like didn't want to put myself out there in that aspect. And I definitely have felt not comfortable coming on even Twitch in like my own self, I guess. Like a lot of my viewers will know that like I don't look like this normally. Like if you take off the wig and the lashes and stuff, it's a complete different person underneath. And like I guess whenever I'm presenting that way, that's always somewhere where I kind of like have that same feeling of not fitting in or not like being a certain way. But yeah, that's me. Socially awkward bitch. Come to my channel if you like that.
Alrighty. I respect that. I can feel that. Nick Saltios, tell us about yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Nick Saltios. I'm a variety streamer. I mostly play a lot of JRPGs and stuff like that, but I'm trying to settle down onto a single game. Let's see. I would say that I do have like that social awkwardness, just representing the otakus out there. And back in the day, it wasn't that it wasn't cool to like anime, so you can already imagine how socially awkward that was. But now it's the cool thing, so we're good now.
Stand
There you go.
anime with you.
Yeah.
We all stand. We'll be weebs with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
You found the right people.
Yes.
I guess we'll go next to the late entry to the party who saved my skin by being able to step into this stream. We'll go to the leader of the Time Cops, Shiny Shoes.
Hi everybody, I'm Shiny Shoes. Outside of Twitch, I would say like I don't really feel so much so like socially awkward. Like I enjoy being around people, but as I've gotten older, the amount of people I interact with has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller. I started actually streaming because I was trying to find people to play games with, but what I have found is that a lot of the people that would come to my channels are other streamers, and a lot of times they weren't wanting to play games with me because they want to play games with me. They wanted to play games with me because they're trying to grow on Twitch and they wanted to be able to talk. I even had a guy that he was like, "Hey, you play Destiny? I play Destiny." I'm like, "Oh, hey, let's play together." So he joins me one day on my stream, and the first thing he says, "Hey, I'm gonna shout out my channel real quick if that's okay." And I'm like,
Oh,
I was like,
Oh, for
I was
God's sake.
I'm like, I don't care. You do you, man. I was like, we gotta kill this boss though, so if you could do that next, like, I'd appreciate that. But that's kind of been my experience the whole time, and it's been hard because, again, my goal is to gain friends, but a lot of times people aren't always upfront with wanting to be your friend on Twitch. They're more so like, hey, you know, this guy has 10 people watching him. I want 10 people, so I'm gonna go hang out with him until they become my 10 people. So that's my experience with Twitch.
Alrighty. And next we've got, last but not least, I gotta say it in Slurp style because it just fits. Wild Spice. Tell us about yourself, Wild Spice.
Wow. Oh dear, I have to talk about myself now. I'm Wild Spice. I am also a variety streamer. I've not been streaming lately because Animal Crossing has stolen my soul. But also my fiance and I are getting married in 2 weeks, so we kind of been focused on that. So I'll probably yay. So I'll probably get back into streaming after that. Just I've been more focused on that. So anyway, I am an extrovert, so like I love talking to people and meeting people and making friends. It's just for me, I feel like I'm more socially awkward on Twitch, especially because just when I stream, it's usually to like the same 2 or 3 people. So like I don't feel like I fit in the Twitch community sometimes because I don't have that many people watching me, or I just feel like people don't really talk to me when they are there. It's very quiet. I end up talking to myself a lot. So, but y'all are awesome, and I've had friends on Twitch thanks to y'all. So thanks.
Pleasure. Alright, so let's see. Looking at my thing here. Alright, so you guys gave your experience in terms of like feeling uncomfortable around others. How do you think we can do our part to make people who feel out of place or uncomfortable feel more welcome, or like they do fit in better than they thought?
Good job.
That's a tough question right off the gate.
He's throwing
I mean,
us in at the deep end.
I mean, what I do, what I do is like, people know me as like the hype train, so I go into a lot of other people's streams and I'm very welcoming in other people's streams, or like if I mod for people, I'm usually very like, hey, welcome on in, and talk to people. So I feel like in general, just acknowledging people when they talk to you is a good starting point. So even if it's just like hello, like in just everyday conversation, say hello back.
Yeah.
Just offer that hello, or just that friendly smile or emoji or something like that.
I think that like I never meant it to happen, but my catchphrase on my stream ended up being, for whenever someone was coming in, was just like, hi, whoever it is, like, how are you, how was your day, tell me all about it. And it just happened over time. But I realized that that is actually like a really good way to open up conversation to people who might not actually either know if you want to hear about your day, because I know when I go into people's streams and I do want to vent, I'm not going to go and vent because I'm like, this person probably doesn't want to hear about how my day went. Like, no one cares, like, no one bothers about how, like, no one really bothers. But like giving them that opportunity, if they have had a shit day, or, you know, if they are feeling like any type of way, to like just speak up and like chat about it. Even if they don't want to, they don't have to. I always feel like that's a good way to kind of go about it and start it, at least, and give people like the opportunity to talk.
I try to like throw them off guard, and this is probably what kind of made me draw towards Blue and like Slurp, because they're the first people that would greet people in the same manner that I would. So well before I even met them, like someone would come to the channel, I'd be like, hi, how's it going? What are you wearing? Like, what? And then I remember like I went to Slurp stream for the first time. The first thing he's like, oh, hi, shiny shoes. What are you wearing? It's like,
Red.
well, no one ever asked me that. I'm always the one doing the asking. Like,
Yeah, the question what you're actually wearing for once.
I was
You're like, what am I wearing?
No, not pants, I'll tell you that. Yeah, so I mean, I think it just the way that you interact with people and kind of bring them in helps a lot as well.
Yeah, just be extremely like personable and let them know that they're kind of like welcome nearby. You know, just like you were saying before, the asking how their day is, and also ask them if they enjoy the game that you're playing and what they think about it and stuff like that, and just make them feel part of it. You know, because I
Yeah.
would kind of like the same thing too, especially if it's a game that I really enjoy and someone asks me what do I think about the game or whatever like that, and
Yes.
I would like just go on and on about the game and not feeling like you're getting shut out, because I know sometimes you do in those situations where you want to go on and ramble about something, but not many people have the same interest as you in that something, you know?
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
hooking on to that, interact with people. I'm also the type of person that doesn't care how she looks. I will act like the biggest idiot imaginable. And I feel like that lends a certain level of comfort. I don't care if I look stupid, if I look silly. I love being stupid and silly, and that's what it's all about. Like, come here and just be yourself, be silly, and don't be afraid to do that. And I feel like me just being how I am, and I'm like, you think you look stupid? Check me out. I'll be stupider. And I feel like that does definitely create a better environment for people to feel, oh, I don't have to be here to impress people. But
Yeah.
I think for me, one thing that I've kind of tried to do is I feel like there's like shame attached to like a lot of things, you know, like whether it's love of comic books or, you know, if you like anime or video games or whatever, like, it's like a lot of people don't want to share what they're interested in because they feel like they're going to get chastised for it. And so they just kind of keep to themselves and wall off. So like what I try and do is be very upfront with everything that I do enjoy, so that, you know, if they like comic books, for instance, I can be like, hey, me too. I got a whole basement full of like comic books. You should see the collection, you know what I mean? Like, and then what's your favorite character? You know, what did you start on? And it starts a rapport, you know what I mean? It starts that back and forth where they're like, oh, I can be myself with this person. I can talk freely and, you know, be myself without having to, like, worry about being judged. Because I feel like there's a lot of things that people have stigmas attached to, and unfairly. So they just don't want to share that part of themselves.
Yeah, and it's definitely hard with the anime part, because I remember growing up and everything like that. Whenever you mention anything about like anime, it's automatic. Oh, you mean that tentacle porn stuff? And you're like, oh, there's more
Yes,
to it than that.
exactly.
And I'm like,
That's like an
yes, I
automatic
enjoy the tentacle porn, but there's also a whole other side to this.
Yeah, but
there's
if
more-
you want to
there's
talk
actually
about the first
family
part,
friendly.
I'm in.
It's hentai and it's art.
No, I could definitely get that. Like being kind of also being a cosplayer and into like the cosplay sides of things, and there's always kind of like a stigma, I guess, for. I see it all the time, even on like one of my own posts on TSAN. Like a long time ago, I'd posted my Diva cosplay, and it wasn't handmade or anything. But one of the people commenting on it was like, "Is this really cosplay though? Because all you've done is like put on a wig, put on like basically was shitting on the cosplay." And there's always that kind of stigma that cosplay isn't for everybody, and that like if your cosplay isn't up to par, say, or like, you know, if it's not up,
Yeah.
then, you know, you're not doing good enough. You shouldn't be in the community unless you've got like the most expensive ass cosplay that you got fucking manufactured from like the best designer. Then you shouldn't be here. Like I see it all the time at cons and on streams of other people. Same with like body painters. Like I'm not a body painter myself, but I've seen it on other people's streams where you go to like, you know, the top viewed ones where the girls look the best and stuff, and they've got like the best body paint. They're doing really good. They're really good artists. Everyone's really great to them. But if you go and see a girl who's maybe just starting out, or a guy who's just starting out, and they obviously don't have the as good skills maybe as the other person because they're literally just starting out, people are just shitting on them like, why are you doing this? And it's like, well, this person wants to learn. This is what they're into. Like,
You
just
gotta
give
start
them that
somewhere.
space to do that.
One thing that like really that I've noticed is, so a lot of people who are like on Twitch or some, especially if they are maybe not finding success at Twitch, a lot of people came here because, you know, they're trying to find outlets because maybe they played games they were young and they were bullied for it, or they weren't exactly athletic. But a lot of times those people become the bulliers. Like they perpetuate that attitude that was given to them while they were growing up. So instead of saying, oh, wow, you know, great job there, you know, I like your cosplay, they're like, I'm going to nitpick at this because maybe I'm not doing as well. And
Yeah, for sure.
And that's one thing that kind of just drives me crazy about all the time. Like, if there are enough viewers on Twitch for all of us, and I know that's crazy to say that, but there are enough viewers for everybody.
Yeah.
Instead of hating on someone or being mean to someone, why don't you take the chance to actually get to know that person
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
maybe see what they're all about? Because, like, I mean, if I saw Diva cosplay, I'd be like, oh, sweet, Diva cosplay. I don't really like Overwatch too much, but I know who that is, and I appreciate you for doing it. So, but
I always
think-
enjoy watching the growth, you know.
yeah,
We all start somewhere, and don't forget where you came from. Honestly, that's the biggest thing I've seen. It's like, okay, don't let your growth also change you into a nasty person. That's the one thing I promised myself. I don't want to change who I am for anything.
No, and nobody should. Nobody should, you know? Like, everybody is, you know, they're like snowflakes. They're all different, they're all unique, but they're all beautiful, you know? So embrace that snowflake, you know? And I know that's like a negative term now because of, like, you know, political, but
I know when you
know,
first said that, I thought you were just calling us all snowflakes.
but it's
I was like, wow, I didn't know it was going that way. Okay.
It's a good thing. I swear it could be a
You
good
didn't
thing.
tell me about this part of the
Yeah.
panel.
Yeah. We're getting roasted.
Surprise. This is actually just a giant roast on the five of you that I'm just gonna sit
You
here roasting.
look for socially awkward people so you can roast them. Got it.
Yeah,
The
that
only
really
anime
helps.
otakus we could find.
They can't do nothing about it. They have to
I'm
sit there and be sad. Yeah. No, and I like we were saying earlier. I mean, with the access to party games now,
Yeah.
I think it's really great that there's so many games I can just join streams and play with people. Like, I mean, you get Fall Guys, you get Among Us, like so many games that are just multiple. And even I know we all like to dog on Fortnite, but like they kind of really started it off with like cross-platform play for everybody. Like it doesn't matter what you play on. Yeah,
You can play with anyone on that. It's really
that-
good for playing with viewers. Even though I hate the game myself, it's one of my most played games on stream because you can involve literally everyone. If you go into creative, you can do whatever you want. It's literally Minecraft in a sense. And there's so much you can do with it. It's such a good way to get your community involved and get, even if people don't want to be on mic, if they don't want to, like, you can do so many different shit with it.
Big deal. So,
That's swearing. I'm sorry for my swearing.
No,
you're good.
you're free. Have you not seen my
You're fine.
streams?
I mean,
I was
I've
gonna
already-
say-
I've already started putting up with
I've been
porn,
trying
so-
so hard this whole time. Like, Blue, you know how much I swear normally. I've been like, oh, keep my mouth shut.
No, look. Every other word out of my mouth is usually a swear, so it's fine.
Yep.
Or he's threatening to do something to me that I don't maybe want to happen.
You always want it. Don't try to pretend.
Fair enough. Yeah. But yeah, I just think that if we're going to like maybe get people past that, one, I think as a whole, like a Twitch community, we could be more positive towards each other. Two, I told you I wanted to find people to play games with because I'm old now, and all my friends, they are like, yeah, I'm busy mowing the lawn or like grilling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I do those, but I also game, so let's go.
I mean, I think that even, I mean, I don't think everyone needs to do this because obviously it's kind of also a big ask to make people like kind of step away from like what their stream schedule is or like what they normally stream. But even for me, like I'm streaming Persona at the moment, and it's always been a game that I loved anyway. But for ages, for like about maybe a period of 1 or 2 months, like that, whenever I streamed Persona, I was only streaming it to one person because no one else really in my community was interested in that game. But I kept streaming it with that one person because he was so interested in the game, like he deliberately didn't buy it just so he could like watch me play through it. He was avoiding spoilers, and we were able to connect so well. And now, like, I miss him when he's not there. I'm like, I'm not playing. The other day I was on Persona and he had to go to bed, and then we got to a new bit, and I was like, no, we need to stop. Daniel's not here. We can't do it without him. I think like if someone was to do that with me, like doesn't have to be the exact same thing, you know what I mean? But like do something similar with me, like go out their way to like spend some time with me, or like play something that I could do. Like Skriller did it for me the other day. She waited for like a good half an hour until I could get Among Us sorted, and I was like, no, just play without me. She's like, no, bitch, we're waiting for you. And it would just, you know, it makes you feel really welcomed and like, you know, you're part of something.
I like that.
I don't like, so outside of just like when you're not streaming, I know that a lot of you guys probably try to like reach out. Do you guys have a problem where when you meet other streamers, like they only want to talk about their stream and stuff like that, and you're just like, hey,
Not
you
with
know,
everybody.
like, yeah, not everyone, but like sometimes it's just people, they just want to talk about, hey, look what I did on stream, or hey, I'm doing this on stream later, and you're trying to like
Get to
you
know 'em.
want,
There's
yeah, you want to
people
have an
who
actual
get close- yeah.
you want to have an actual conversation with the person, but everything they want to talk about is their stream. I'm like, tell me more. Because if you
About
just
you.
tell me about your stream, what do I do when you're offline? I know nothing about you. So
Why should I care about your content if I don't know you? That's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
Like, I care
That
about.
might sound bitchy, but I get that. Like,
yeah,
No, exactly. Like, I care about the content you make because I care about you as a person, and that's what drew me in. Is I like you, and then I see your content, and I like your content. I know that sounds definitely bitchy,
No.
but it's like there
No,
are tons of us on here. Like, at least try
I
it.
completely get it, because to be honest, I don't think I actually, other than like just right before I started my Twitch channel, I was never someone who would go and watch live streams that often, or in the moment at least. If I was watching them, they would be offline, like on YouTube, montages type things. I just didn't have it's just not something that it's weird saying it as a Twitch streamer. I don't actually enjoy watching streams for the most part. But what I enjoy watching is when I get to know someone and then I enjoy them. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. Like Adria, you could literally be spinning on your chair in a circle for an hour straight, not saying a word, and I would enjoy that content because I enjoy you as a person. And it's
Yeah.
like
I'm gonna do
same
that
with you,
now.
like, you
I was
guys
gonna say, can you do
Yeah.
that? Can you do that?
I would like to
Yeah,
watch
but
that as well. I'm just gonna say, put that out there.
we'll all tier free sub for that. But like just like I know, even with like Jordan, Detune, like all of you guys, I'd probably, and I don't mean this in a bitchy way, I probably wouldn't watch your content no matter how good it was in terms of like gameplay and stuff like that, unless I really liked you as a person, because it's just not something that I personally enjoy doing. So the reason I do sit there and watch every one of you guys is because I actually like you guys. You know, I actually enjoy you and I want to see what you're up to. It's not really that I want to see what you're gaming today. It's more I want to see your reactions, if you know what I mean. I want to see what happens to Adri today on stream.
Yeah.
I almost
Same
feel like
here.
I like watching Blue's raid, your raid scenes. Like you're watching your raid scene come in. It's my favorite thing.
I feel like too, like it helps with that viewership as well. Like when you get to know your viewers, I mean, build your Discord community. And I know that's tough because sometimes it's hard to build a Discord, and even if you do build it, it can be just a graveyard where there's no talking or anything, and it's pulling teeth to get people to go.
Oh, I have a graveyard.
I have a graveyard.
Graveyard too.
Elephant
Oh,
graveyard.
I'll at myself next time as well. Don't worry. But like, get to know them, because even as a streamer, like that helps so much, especially when I know something about someone. Like I have a couple mods that, I mean, they live on other sides of the country. I've gotten to know them. I've sent them gifts and everything. They've sent me stuff. Like one of them just got a new house and I haven't seen her in a while. And I reached out to him on like Facebook. I'm like, hey, how'd the house move go? How'd everything like that? And he told me this whole story about it. And then he started asking me, he's like, how come you haven't been on Twitch lately? Where have you been? And I'm like, oh, I got this going on with me too. So those kind of conversations, that's what gets you connected to people, instead of just, oh, well, I hope they show up when I'm live so I can ask them again. Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that also really digs into your like offline stuff, like your Twitter and stuff like that. You want it to be like to show like your personality and everything like that, not just a bunch of going live posts. And so I've actually gotten into the habit of like deleting my going live posts as soon as I'm done streaming. So that way it's just not a pull, and you can also see all my other stuff too. stuff that I tweet
Yeah.
out there, like memes and anime related things and
Mhm.
just life in general.
Hmm.
I never thought to do that. It's actually not a
I
bad
never
idea.
did either. That's a good idea.
It was a video I saw. I think it was
Might
Harris that
have
made
to
it.
do that.
They made a video about deleting your going live post.
Yeah. Raven said that he stopped doing going live posts, and I'm kind of in that same boat with him, honestly. Like, I can say that I haven't gained traction. Nobody's been like, hey, I've come to your stream because I saw your going live post. But
Yeah.
on the opposite end, I've gone to plenty of streams because I've seen going live posts. But like, I don't know. I feel like you put a lot into them. Like, I'll make custom photos for them and everything else like that. But if my time is being reciprocated, sometimes I feel like maybe my efforts are best spent elsewhere. Like, I could be talking someone else's Discord, spending the time instead of all that time that I'm using to build those going live posts.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why I only do one, and it's the Twitter one. If I'll do like the other ones if it's like something really really big. Other than that, I just do like a Twitter going live, and that's pretty much it. And some days I just shadow start a stream where I don't put anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I used to do
so
going
now
live
just
posts
go.
with every single one. Now the only time I really do a live post is if I'm doing something different or like cosplay streams or stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I mostly like you'll see. I used to post every time on TSAN because I don't have a Twitter or anything, and I don't really post on my Instagram. But I used to post every day on TSAN, and I would stream every day. And I was like kind of hyper aware of the fact that like I would get annoyed seeing my face up there all the time if that was. I'd be like, come on, like stop. Like I'd be like, fuck off. So I was like, I'm gonna stop. And then it was now normally that's only when I'm doing like a cosplay stream or like a music stream maybe that I'll like post a going live now.
Yeah.
You run out of
I've
ideas
I've
for
seen
live
live.
Mhm.
So
the same flow of people from not posting the same as posting, so I have to agree with Shiny on them.
Yeah, like I see the same posts from people, and it's good. It means
Yep.
that maybe I interact with those people more and everything else like that. But even when I throw those posts in there, I'm not seeing traction. Maybe my posts aren't as good as they can be, and that's a possibility as well. But even when I find I have above average tier posts, it isn't getting the traction that I need. So I've kind of gone in a different direction.
right.
Mhm.
So in terms of streaming, what do you think the pitfalls and the benefits are for people who feel like at a place or whatever in terms of streaming? Like, how can streaming benefit and also hurt people who feel that way on a daily basis? Because for me, I think that in terms of helping, I mean, you've all probably seen my going live posts on TSAN when I post them. If I don't post a really weird video talking about jars of jelly and what I'm going to do with that jelly in the stream, I will say some very weird things just in terms of like my typing, like what I type out, because I'm weird and like I'm awkward, and I constantly have felt that way, but I've embraced it, and I want people to know that like there's people like you out there. Here's one, come hang out. So like I feel like that could be a benefit.
Yeah, I definitely think that. I don't know. I don't think this applies to everyone because I think everyone has their own kind of like reasons for streaming and stuff and how they react to things. But I was always like, at the start of streaming, I always was like, numbers aren't going to get to me. I'm not here for the numbers. Like, I'm never here for the money or anything like that. But I know that when my average started going up and I was doing really well for like the last couple months before I took my break and like moved to England, and my average was up at like 9 to 10 average, a stream, and that's not amazing for most people, but like for me that was really good, and I was really happy to see that growth. And then when that dropped, and that took like a severe drop after my break and coming back, and my average was maybe down to like 4 per like stream, that got to me on a level I didn't expect it to, and I always said that it wouldn't, which was like upsetting to me because I was like, no, you're not meant to let that affect you, you're not meant to care. But I think when you you do enjoy doing something and you work hard for it and you see the drops or you're at a steady drop all the time, I think it can be quite negative on like mental health.
Yeah.
Like we all try and I don't know, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I also feel low-key that we all try and say that the numbers don't affect us and stuff, and it doesn't. But like when you've been doing good and then you see it drop, or when you are just talking to yourself and like you feel like there's no one there to talk to, and that it can just be like a downer constantly. And if you're doing that every day, like I was streaming every day for ages. I remember when I was doing like 9 and 10 hour streams a day every single day. That was like a really downer on my like health mentally and physically even. So I think there is like some negative effects to like streaming that like you don't talk about.
I think you're like 100% right on that. Like it was just about a year ago, Twitch changed the way that they counted viewers in streams. Like they had this whole thing, and everybody went all like, "Oh, well, to be a lurker, you can't mute the tab anymore. You have to have this and this and this."
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people saw dips in numbers around that time. And it's not something that they even went big out there on saying like, "Hey, we did this," but then there were tweets about it, and everybody was kind of like, "Hey, we're getting all these dips." And I know that I had a conversation with a couple streamer buddies of mine, and we were all just like, "Man, going from what felt like really good numbers for us, and then it dipped down so low where it's like," I mean, there was a day where I was sitting there and I was like, "Ooh, we averaged 5 today." I was like, that is rough. And I remember that Just Boo, who's in the chat right now, he was there watching me, and he was like, "Shiny, you have to turn off your viewer count, man." He's like, every time you look down at it, he's like, you just get down. And I mean, I did. I've done that since. And I mean, after the stream, do I go back and look at numbers? Absolutely. Because I mean, we're all doing that. It's a measure, maybe not 100% a measure of success, but it's still a measure of some sort as to how we're doing. So you're going to look at it no matter what. But we've definitely, it's hard to explain that. Like, hey, you've got to find a way to move past that numbers. Like what good came out of the stream today? What positives can you pull from today's stream? Like, hey, did I beat a game finally? No, because I'll never do that. But, what did I get done? So.
Yeah, I think there's always, I don't know, like for me, I used to game a lot off stream. Like I was always gaming, but now I don't know if it's because either, I'm working or streaming. Like whenever I'm gaming or doing something now, I feel like I need to be on stream because I'm worried about like missing out on good content, or like one of those one special moments where it's going to be one of your funniest clips for the next 6 months type of thing. Like every time I'm gaming, I feel like, even though I know I don't have to stream, I do stream. Like I don't go and game off stream anymore at all. It's been, honestly, I'd say probably over a year since I've done that, which is like annoying in its own right, because I think everyone knows that you're at your most comfy when you're not on stream, when you're sitting gaming in your own room, got your snacks, you don't care about what you look like, no one's seeing you itch your balls. Like I'm like, I can itch my balls without no one seeing me right now, like comfy. I've not done that in a long time. I haven't itched them balls.
Yo, hold on, we don't do that on stream? Oh no.
We're missing out on ball itching.
I've been doing it the entire time.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
I'm gonna have to keep my hands up now. You guys are gonna respect me.
I just want to itch my balls.
That's all I want to do, man.
So you don't.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Wild Space.
That's okay. No, I was gonna say, the numbers thing is a big part of why I haven't been streaming lately. Like, it just started getting to me, and my fiance was telling me, like, you're letting the numbers get to you. You gotta stop. Like, you can't. It was really getting me down a lot, and that's not why I got into streaming. I got into streaming so I could make friends and also just talk to people and be on camera, because originally I was like, oh, I'll do YouTube content, but I don't like having to plan out the content and do it. I'd rather just do it on the fly. So I got into streaming. But what I do now is, like, I turn the viewer count off, and that's helped. Like Shiny,
I've heard that
go
helps.
and check it I go check afterwards now, like Shiny does. But what I do now is, like, when I feel like gaming, like, I have that feeling too, like, I want to stream it when I'm gaming. So what I do now is, like, I was playing Mass Effect, I stream it off the Xbox, and I don't have me on camera or anything, but I could still talk to people if they want to pop in. But yeah, so it's been a struggle.
I think.
So, go on.
You can go.
Oh, one of the biggest things for me personally with social awkwardness also comes, as much as I say I try not to, I do compare myself to others and
Yes,
other
same.
content creators. And so there are a lot of times I hover over my going live button because I see that person on, and I'm kind of like, well, why do I even want to attempt when they're already on? I know it sounds petty. I'm just like,
No, I completely
Yeah, yeah.
get that feeling.
It kind of
No,
takes the wind
me
out of my
too.
sails.
Especially like if that person is someone that you're a part of their community, they're a part of your community, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm like, damn,
There's a lot
I
of
mean,
people who like you're close with that you share your communities. It tends to be like, even with you, Blue, like you're part of so
Yeah.
many communities that I know, if you know what I mean. We all share the same community for the most part without realizing it. Like even Adri and stuff, like we've all known the same people. And we've all like, you all have that issue as well of maybe on when you're not streaming, trying to see if I see two of you on, it's like, well, I need to be in both streams. Who do I choose? You feel like very obligated to be like there for everyone, even though that you know that the streamer doesn't expect you to be there. It's like you
Yeah.
want to be there, and you don't know
It
how to do all of
is.
them at once.
That's
I
what's
totally
so
agree with
hard.
that. It's hard.
I've been there in a room with a phone, a laptop, and the PS4 on, and you can't mute them. So you can't mute them.
Yeah.
And you're
right.
hearing like
I have
six
to watch
different
you
things at
all.
once.
Echo.
I legit took away one of my screens because me and my wife had this whole conversation about, she's like, you never use the third screen when you're streaming. I'm like, no, I don't need. I was like, that's just when I'm watching people. She's like, can you actually watch 3 people at the same time? I'm like, well, no, but I can have them pulled up. She's like, so you have a whole screen taking up all this room on your desk just to have someone pulled up. Like, yeah. So eventually we unhooked it because we decided that she needed the screen and that I could find a better way to just spend the time that I need in those chats instead of just like having a gajillion people up, because you can't. I know it's great to be there for them and everything, but you can't be active in that many streams, and it's only
Yeah.
gonna. I mean, it isn't gonna count me in every stream. I know that. I've seen that. So, I mean,
I got scolded by Slurp because there was a point where I had 2 phones, an iPad, and my laptop, and whatever console I was on, all going at one time because I wanted to make sure I was like supporting everybody that I could that was on. So
That's a
like
long electric bill.
I think I even took up like I took a picture at one point and sent it to Slurp of me just sitting in a circle of like devices. He's like, you cannot be doing that. Like that is too
Transportation
much.
circle of devices.
He's gonna summon partnership.
Right?
For real.
the ghost of
The
Mixer
ring of
attacks him.
streamers.
So
Um.
oh, go ahead.
So I know that Carrie said that she doesn't game offline. Do you guys still game offline or no?
I
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Crossing is about
I play,
what I'm gaming on.
Certain games offline.
Yeah, I find a lot of times if I'm watching streams or like lurking in streams and doing everything else like that, a lot of times I'll have like a game up and I'm playing my game. So if you don't, are there games? Do you not stream those games due to viewership, or is it just something you don't want to stream?
Yes.
Stream Animal Crossing because I can't stream Animal Crossing because we have a Switch Lite. Otherwise, I would totally
Oh,
be
yeah.
streaming Animal Crossing because I love it. It is so much fun. But I can't.
So like for
Uh,
me, I usually like it's not that I don't want to do them on stream. It's usually I only have so many days and so many games I can stream in a given week.
Yeah.
So like I try and save the best ones for my community. So like if there's a game that 10 out of 10 can't wait to play it, I'll do that one on stream because I want to share that experience.
For me, it's,
No, I was gonna say, but like other than that, like I like Final Fantasy VII, I will probably do that off stream, not because I don't want to play it, but because it's not as high on the list for me.
for me, it's like there's a lot of games that I would love to play on stream, but I'm also afraid that I'll get like TOS because it's like, you know, Hyperdimension, Neptunia, and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
you never know
I
what's
love
going to
that
happen.
game.
Yeah, they're amazing series, and I love it. But you never know when you get a Bath team.
Yes.
So then you're pretty much done. Your stream's over, you know?
I mean, I think
Yeah.
this Twitch not okay with most of it for the most part. I think you can go on a list of like games that will get you banned or not, but I know that they let me like they're all right with the Witcher free scenes, and those are pretty.
No, the Witcher,
Sometimes
Witcher
I
3.
don't know. Yeah, they didn't ban me for that.
Fan-
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dante's
I did Wolf
Inferno
Among
too
Us, and that
fine,
one was
so.
has some stuff in there too.
If
I
Dante's
streamed
Inferno can
Honey
be
Pot the
streamed,
one
pretty much
time
any
before
game
I
can
realized
be.
it was banned.
Honey pot.
Like, so I know that dirty me, but I enjoy Call of Duty still, and I know but I really enjoy playing that with friends. But on the flip side of it, I don't stream that because that has such low viewership for me, and so many people are streaming it that I feel like I am not spending my time on Twitch well if I'm actually streaming that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It does.
Like,
But I also
it's
think
not-
there's ways around that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah,
It's weird for me because like Fortnite and stuff like that, those were meant to be like really oversaturated games to play as a streamer. But for some reason, like Fortnite is one of my biggest like viewership. Like it's where I get new viewers from as well. And I don't know if it's just as soon as a girl goes on Fortnite, all the 12-year-olds like instantly like they're just awake. But like that like I get like most of my good viewers from not good viewers, but you know I mean most of like my growth. Like new viewers and stuff from bloody Fortnite streams. I've not really played much Call of Duty on stream because I suck ass, and I don't want to embarrass myself like that. So I've not experienced it on the Call of Duty side, but on like the oversaturated game side, Fortnite's kind of giving me the opposite of what I would expect it to, and what everyone says it will.
I mean, 100% the biggest like stream I've had with no host was from Fortnite. Like I was just playing on a random Sunday and like numbers just kept going up and more people just kept going in. And then like one day I'm just sitting there and I'm playing and there's like 100 people. I'm like, why are there 100 people? I'm not even good. I'm not
I can't
good.
relate to that. But
You should understand. Like I'm not good at the game.
I
And
think-
they're just
yeah.
watching, they're chatting. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Wow.
But
Yeah, for me it was when I've streamed Hyperdimension Neptunia and I was doing voice acting over like where they don't talk. I got a lot of views for that, and then just when I played Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy IX, but you can't keep playing them over and over again.
Yeah, you can't because it's like
I beat the game. What do you do then? But like
I
Final
think that's
Fantasy
something
VII,
that I'm
I have a
jealous
lot of
of.
engagement.
I can't. There's a lot of games that I would love to stream, and I did try and stream them, and it wasn't even. To be fair, Persona should be one of them, but because there's so much more to do in Persona, and it's not just like a visual novel type game, like I can get away with playing that and not having to say everything that's on screen. But like I loved like Danganronpa is one of my like
That game's
all-time.
good,
like,
yeah, I
yes.
can't
Like,
stream
all-time
Danganronpa. Too much
favorite.
reading. I don't want to read all
That's
of
the
that on
thing,
stream. I
that's
love the
thing is,
series,
like,
but damn.
I don't like. I feel like there's not much effort in it if I'm just reading it out in my own voice, and I don't like hearing my own voice just read out stuff over and over again. I feel like I'm in English class and like the teacher's making me recite. But it's one of my like favorite games. It's one of the things I get most hyped about. Like it's where I got my name Kiri from. It's where I like named my cat Junko. I'd love to play that on stream, but like
Junko's
the
my
viewership,
favorite.
literally, she's my idol.
Yeah.
Probably not a good thing, but still, idol. Anyway, she's like. Now I'm just thinking about Junko.
so
Cosplayed Aoi.
a lot of times, like when people like when new streamers come in, they'll always ask people, like ask streamers and stuff, hey, what should I play? And you will always see people say, play whatever you want to play. Play
What you
what makes
enjoy.
you happy. I think that's bad advice. Is that taboo to say?
Not taboo.
It's
Controversial
bad
opinion.
advice on
Yeah.
where it's going. Like if they're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what am I trying? What do I want to play to like grow or something like that? Then I guess you can give them like a game for that, but that's still based on their personality and stuff.
Depends
And
on
then
their
they're-
intent.
It's a case by case basis for
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
for the most
Yeah.
part.
Could be the
Yes.
So
other
there is
content.
also obviously like not even stereotypes, but like things that do normally happen, and that like most people can like follow a path and be like, okay, if I do this, I think that this might happen. This is what happened to other streamers, but like it is a case by case basis. I don't think anything really works for every person.
Yeah, because you could send them into like a very saturated game because it's a game
Yeah.
that they enjoy playing, and then they're
Yeah.
the type of person that look at numbers and stuff, and they just spiral themselves into a number depression. because of a game that they enjoyed playing, but they don't enjoy anymore because they see the numbers over the game.
So
What they're
Exactly.
here to do.
Yeah.
It just depends entirely.
Yeah.
And Ghostface down in chat made a really good point. Are you playing for growth or are you wanting to grow?
Yeah.
Just because you're enjoying what you're doing. So it's all about your intent. You can definitely play a game to grow, but a lot of your growth is not going to come from just what you play. It's
Yeah.
coming from you as a
Yeah.
person and the connections you make and all that too.
Yeah,
Agreed.
and I think that's what a lot of people get confused too on the whenever they say do stuff offline and stuff like that. Majority of the time, you think of just making like more content of that game and stuff, but you want to offline is you also want to put your personality and what your interests are and stuff like that out there too, not just your game. And because you're more than just a person that just sits and plays that game all day. There's more to you in your life.
Yeah. So, in terms of the negatives, I was sitting here thinking, I think one of the negatives towards people who are already feeling out of place or awkward, in terms of Twitch, is you have people that might decide, you know what, I'm going to give this whole streaming thing a chance. I want to try this. I enjoy playing games and I want to make friends. And then they give it a try and they get a couple of trolls pop in on their first, stream that are, tearing them down or making fun of them. Maybe it's what they're wearing, maybe it's their voice, maybe it's the game they're playing, whatever. And I feel like that could have a doubly bad impact on their mental health, because not only are you already feeling that way in life, but here you are in your safe zone, so to speak, with gaming. You try and do something you love and then you get torn down. I feel like that could really knock you down further, down the ladder, because of trolls and the people out there that they're so quick to tear down rather than build up.
I mean,
Trolls.
trolls are just part of it. Like, it's hard to give
Yeah.
100% good advice for trolls, because, I mean, small streamers, big streamers, there's always someone out there that just wants to get a rise out of someone. And it's hard to get rid of it. Can't really give good advice, like how to do it. The only thing I say is a lot of people you'll see a lot of people give the advice like, hey, I try to convert them into viewers, but I
don't want the trolls
yeah.
with viewers.
I give the opposite.
Yeah, I don't want
advice.
them. No.
Yeah, trolls will always be trolls. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you may want to bring them over, but at some point, they're gonna troll some more.
Yeah.
I've heard other streamers talk about how the same thing where they're gonna convert the trolls or the haters or whatever to viewers, or they'll say that they don't ban viewers, trolls or people who even are I heard someone say he doesn't ban people who are racist or homophobic, but he just mutes them. He just mutes them for an obscene amount of time because he's like, I'm not gonna let that affect my viewer ratio and stuff. And for me, as much as you want that viewer count to be up there when you're feeling shit, I genuinely I don't want anyone like that in my stream. And I can't give good advice on dealing with trolls because I react to them so badly. You always tell people not to rise up to it. I rise up to it every time. It is so easy to get under my skin, and I'm just such an irritable bitch anyway that you want to fucking fight with me, then I'm gonna fight. And it's bad. So I can't give people advice on how to ignore it because I don't ignore it.
Yeah. I'm same way. I just dealt with trolls not long ago, actually. I originally had an open server Minecraft. I had an open Minecraft server, which I had to lock down because I invited it was literally last week. I wake up to 50 PMs from all my friends and stuff because all their stuff is missing and stuff is destroyed. And they already knew who the two people were, and I'm not going to deal with that, and I don't want to ruin the experience for everyone else. So I just literally just banned them out. I banned them from the Discord and from my Minecraft server because I didn't want to deal with it, and I didn't want it to leak over to all my friends and ruin their experience on the server. and then we kind of locked the server down to like friends of friends and stuff like that.
So like, I don't know if there is good advice to give a trolls beta
Really
move
isn't.
on. What probably be really good advice for like a newer streamer, especially, is the importance of choosing your mods correctly. And not just modding everyone, like not just modding someone because they're always at the stream, but like modding someone because you know that that person probably has your best interest at heart instead of just someone's there. 'Cause, I mean, I had that trouble when I first started. Like, I'd mod tons of people, like, oh yeah, you can get mod,
Yeah.
and then I had a horrible experience with 2 mods literally going at it. I'm in the middle of a stream, they're arguing, I stop them. Then they bring it over into the Discord, and I don't see the Discord stuff going on because I'm streaming, and then I get off, and there's this whole thing going on. I'm like, okay. So, like, I think, and that's why I've been so much more selective over, like, who mods and do I need more mods or stuff like that. Like, is it much more than I can handle? And I think that's very important for newer streamers to understand that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the biggest thing when it does come to trolls is the one thing I do see a lot when people have like a troll issue is they end their stream. And I think that's like the biggest thing that you don't want to do, because I feel like that is like giving them that win of what they're looking for and everything like that. At most, ban them and move on. That's like the biggest tip that I can give. But as you're saying, it's hard to give those advice because they could say or do something that like legitimately does hurt you to the point where you do want to end the stream. And I don't want you to like keep streaming even though you don't feel like you're I don't want you to keep streaming even though you feel like you're uncomfortable or like you're literally about to have like a breakdown or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely that gray area. But me personally, I would never end my stream because of a troll, because I feel like that's like giving them that win, and they'll probably just be right back to try to do it again.
And I feel straight up like real bad because sometimes I have friends and like, especially like female viewer friends, if they're new to streaming and like they're doing something that isn't gaming, or even when it is gaming, like just chatting, stuff like that. Dude, I feel so bad because literally they'll hit go live and they'll get in there and like the trolls are coming. And
The floodgates are open and they're coming.
Yep.
That's why, and I love just chatting, but like nowadays when I go into just chatting, that is where I get the trolls. Like that's where they come from. Like normal games I'm playing, like they don't usually show up, but just chatting, oh man.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. Like all the trolls that went, like this is obviously more directed towards females, like this typical thing of being called like a boob streamer as well and being called a like titty streamer and stuff. I don't think I've ever felt so pressured to like cover myself up in a community before and like make sure that, you know, when I go back and look at my VODs that there's not a single time where, and it's not that I've shit on other girls for having their cleavage out, but I'm so hyper aware of having like any work that I've put into my stream be like taken away in an instant just by some stupid guy making a comment saying, yeah, but you only have that those viewers or that community because you have boobs. And like that's such a typical thing to hear as like a female. And I've genuinely, this is the one, although I love Twitch to death, like I've never felt so pressured to be like, okay, I am wearing a fucking onesie with a hat on and my scarf's covered up and like, you know, I'm wearing a nun's outfit today.
The worst part is like
even my cosplays, you have to tie them down.
Like even when you cover up, like they're still gonna come and be
matter.
like, they're only here because you're a girl, and you're like, fuck you, dude.
It's like nothing you do is winning. Like
Even,
it's
like,
always something.
Every time whoever you pick in a game as a female, that's like if you play Mercy in Overwatch, well, it's because you're a girl. Of course you're playing Mercy. Like if you're playing Moira or anyone else, they're like, oh, you're a typical girl trying to not play Mercy, and I'm like, well, what can I do?
Yeah.
I don't play a lot of Overwatch, but I play Mercy, so come at me.
If you're, I hate it because I play
automatically
being like a main healer, but they're always like, oh, of course you're a main healer. You're a female. I'm like, well, I'm sorry.
I don't know why they're complaining.
I'm like, the only reason I'm a main healer is because none of you guys want to pick up the ass and play main healer. So I'm happy. I'm picking up your slack here.
Like
no one else picked healer, so we need one.
Like, dude, I play Smite, like, that's my jam. I love playing Smite, and then like some MMOs I've gotten into, like Elder Scrolls and stuff like that. You can find a million DPS. That is literally, you can find that all day. But dude, I played as a tank and a healer in those games and support in that. I auto queued always. Like I always got in. But my friend's like, man, these queue times are like an hour. I'm like, I wouldn't have that problem. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's how it is for Final Fantasy. I play tank and healer all the time. It's like instant queues.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm with it. But I feel for you. There's people are just mean.
I think as females, we're not dumb either. Like none of us will say that there's not an advantage to being a female. So I'm the first person to say, like, I think it's obviously like a downright lie when we're like, oh, there's no advantage to being a female as a streamer, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's not also advantages to being a male when it's being streamer. Like, I feel like males are going to get taken more seriously. Yeah, there's two different ways to look at it. Yes, I know that if there's a guy going on Twitch predominantly to watch girls just because he wants to watch girls, then he's not going to come to those male streams no matter how good your content is anyway. And that's what I've come to realize is like, and that's what I kind of say to the angry men on all the comments and stuff. I'm like, if you really think I'm stealing your viewers, then you've got like, you're just joking yourself because you think if that guy wasn't watching me, he'd come and watch you. No, he's going to go and find the next girl. Yeah. He's going to go and like, it's not my fault that he wants to watch a female, and I don't particularly want viewers who are just watching me because I'm a female, but most of the time they don't tell you that either, you know. So it's like, I don't know.
It's okay.
I'd love to be able to have my content be taken seriously.
We have a new tier of streamers now, so now it's everyone's gonna be going after the VTubers now because apparently that's becoming like extremely big thing. So now it's like, oh, it's just because you're a VTuber now or whatever.
Oh Jesus.
So,
and
it's gonna become that all of a sudden.
Goes into doing that as well.
No, it's a lot of work.
In chat, Slurpiglurp says, I literally seen a girl get accused of being a titty streamer by 3 different dudes in about a 4-hour period while wearing a t-shirt that went up to her neck. There's no escaping it, friggin' exhausting to watch, and I can't imagine dealing with it on a personal level.
Could you see her eyebrows, though? If you can.
Her ears were shown, man. That's offensive.
Yeah, how dare you.
I kind of stopped caring about it a while ago and also kind of like started tricking people into like, I think you guys have seen like Blue and Adriel seen my going live posting T-San and stuff like I don't ever look like on stream how I posted those posts. I'm always like, haha, this photo was taken 2 days ago when I was at my prime time, yes. And then people are like, oh, I'm gonna go on and see that, and then I'm sitting there like eating Cheetos with my fucking hair down, my belly's hanging out. I'm like, yeah, it's great, love the life.
Bamboozled again. Got him.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I feel so bad because there's a girl that lives like, she's probably like 15 minutes from my house, and she's really successful on Twitch, and she's like a Grandmaster's Overwatch player. And literally, all she uses her Twitter for is times that she gets just pretty much hated on because she's a girl playing Overwatch. And it just literally, she has a new video up every day. Like, there's just more and more stuff because people are just so rude to her. And like, she's sitting there.
Overwatch is so toxic.
Oh.
That's so toxic.
I mean, there's League of Legends. And I have stories.
I'm not even going on yet. I'm not gonna try that. I went on one stream and then everyone attacked me and it was stressful and I didn't know what I was doing. Never again. I think it's like being a female. If you go on, I've only really had it with Overwatch because it's the only game that I really play voice chat with, or I used to. I don't go into random games anymore. And it was like as soon as someone hears that you're a female on that game, it's like instant annihilation. It's like, you are screwed. They're just gonna throw the match because you're in there. They're like, we fuck this female. I'm like, oh fuck's sake, guys, I really needed that SR. Y'all moaning at me because I'm in gold. Well, it's your fault.
I'm sorry. I'm here.
Ghost Whisper says, I don't like Kiri's mindset about that. Actually, I prefer watching girls, and I don't see anything bad about that as long as I stay friendly. Am I not allowed to have a preferred gender to watch? ?
I don't think she said it was
I didn't say that it was bad. No, I wasn't. I'm sorry if it came across like that. I was just saying that like the male streamers, male people who like are annoyed and say that like, oh, you've only got viewers because you're a female, or like you're stealing their viewers. That like the guys that are watching just because you're a female aren't going to go and watch the other guys anyway. That's the point that I was making. I wasn't saying anything bad about it.
Yeah, I mean that some people just prefer to watch whatever gender they like, or
I prefer to watch female streamers for the most part, probably because I'm a big gay, but other than that I enjoy female streamers a lot more.
both. It depends on their
I
personality.
feed into the
Like,
titty
that's
streamer thing.
personality.
One thing that I heard you say, and I know a mistake that I made when I started streaming. So I got into streaming 2-ish years ago, a little over 2 years ago. And right when I went in, I had a buddy, and he was like, well, if you're going to start streaming, you really need to put the time in there. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? He's like, you have to put out the content, man. You have to be there. And I was like, oh, so all right. So my first year of streaming, I streamed every day for a year. Like, I did 365 days back to back. Like, and I can't tell. I want you to listen to me, new streamers. I can't tell you enough how bad that is for your mental health and your growth on Twitch. I spent the first year of my streaming pretty much career pretty much not making friends on Twitch because I spent all my time streaming or sleeping. So, and when I see, because people post that like, hey, look, how am I doing? And you'll see they'll have 27 days streamed with 140 hours streamed, and you'll see people in the comments, heck yeah, keep grinding, bro.
No.
I honestly
I
hate
think
the
that's
term
I find it,
grinding.
yeah. I hate the term. I find it weird though because I know that as much as someone who like was saying that had the issue with like getting down on my average and stuff, other than recently when I've like moved and stuff and I've not been able to stream as much, I'm someone who does tend to just stream as often as I can because I enjoy streaming and it's my safe space. And I've kind of like separated like doing those, how people are like, oh, if you do too many short streams or too many long streams, you're going to affect your average. Like if you do too many streams in one day, or if you like, so you switch too often, especially streaming straight from a PS4, if I'm switching games, that stream's ending. Like that's like, there's no way to change that.
I remember that pain.
I used to get really annoyed seeing people like tell people to just like not stream as often or they need to like do this otherwise their average isn't going to go up. It's different when people are definitely asking for advice on how to grow their average. But when you see it and people are just like, oh, I'm proud of my growth this month, or this is how I've done this month, and people are like, you really need to start streaming less. Like, you need to focus on this. That's when I'm like, no. If you want to be making content, go make your content. Like, if you want to be on stream, do it. And again, that's letting your views get too much onto you, I feel like. Like, I'm trying to avoid doing that now, so I don't get into another bad mindset on it.
Yeah.
The other thing too is so many people are burning out too. Because they're like because of the grind thing, and then you see people like mental breakdown, or then they just disappear because they just wore themselves down, and it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
at the very, very end of that year, so it was like December 20th, I legit had to have like emergency surgery, and they took my gallbladder. And I remember telling my wife, like, we had to be at the hospital at 6 a.m. So I told my wife, I was like, hey, when we get out, you need to have my phone on you because I still have to go live from the hospital. And I remember she's like, she brought the phone, and then she's like, we're just going to wait till you get home because they're going to release you today. So I remember I had a surgery. I was laying in my bed, and I had my phone with me. And I'm like, hey, everybody, I'm going to be live for about an hour tonight. I am hopped up on pain medicine. What's up?
No.
Like,
Exactly why we don't cry.
Exactly.
But I was like, man, I've almost made it a year. It's almost 365 days. But I think what main thing like I want to say is like, don't expect to just Field of Dream It. Don't expect like, hey, you're gonna go live every day for a year, and because you do that, that's gonna bring the people in. And it's the same thing as like people will say like, hey, you need to be making YouTube content to grow on Twitch. But YouTube's just as saturated, right? Like, isn't it just
I
hard to
think
grow on
it's
YouTube?
way more.
Depends on what you're doing. If you're just making video content, then yeah. But when it comes to streaming content, it's actually very bare.
I think I remember what we were touching on earlier with making YouTube content as well. Like, I don't like planning out like a whole set of I don't like watching myself. Like, I don't find myself funny, like, or anything like that. Like, I can't ever imagine like when when you visualize yourself doing what other people do, or when you do it in a music video, or when you're doing that stupid shit and you visualize yourself in anime or whatnot, like I can do that. But when I visualize myself doing like what other YouTubers do and like creating a video where you're talking to people and they're not actually there, Even when I do that, I can do that in streaming, but like faking it, I wouldn't say faking it, but you know what I mean. Like I like being able to act in the moment, or be in the moment, and I couldn't do that on YouTube. I could never bring myself to watch a video back and like go and I don't watch my own VODs back. I know a lot of people do that. I don't really watch any of my old VODs back unless it's a clip that someone's made. I hate listening to myself and watching myself, and it makes me pick myself apart. So I don't use YouTube for growth at all. I'm like, nope, I'm staying away from it.
Under my comments I had for when Blue asked, I put we are too harsh on ourselves sometimes, and maybe just a touch too harsh on yourself.
Just a bit.
It's like when you're watching yourself back, even I find it hard like sitting, I don't know if any other like people can relate to this, but when I'm seeing myself on camera, I'm trying to like look at you guys instead of myself, because as soon as I start focusing on myself, I'm an instant person who would like pick something apart and be like, oh, I look weird. Am I doing something wrong? Like, I don't like the way I'm projecting. It's like, I will avoid looking everywhere except myself. I'm like, I'm not looking there today.
So,
and then you see it on my streams as well. You see me looking at myself. I look like a self-obsessed bitch, and it's honestly, it's not that I love myself. It's that I hate myself. I'm like, look better. You make sure you're looking good right now.
I do the same with the look better, but it never gets better. So I'm always just like, who the hell is that guy? But so much like the problem with me watching VODs backs is sometimes my mouth will just start going. I'm talking, and I don't even know what the hell I just said for the past 10 minutes. And I'll go back and watch my VODs. I'm like, what the hell were you talking about there?
That's every stream for me.
Yeah, I'm like,
Same.
you just went on a 10-minute tangent about how many things peanut butter was useful for. I don't understand why you're talking there.
Why was I just talking about scooping peanut butter out of my belly button? I have no clue, but it happened.
That's a normal day.
Yeah.
Peanut butter is actually very useful.
Yeah.
Vintu asked, how did streaming so much affect your in real life relationships?
Well, I did.
You gotta have one.
Yeah.
Are we talking about like friend relationships and stuff as well, or?
Yeah.
I think in general, just any relationship.
Yeah.
Like,
my wife didn't 100% mind it, because we were home anyways. I'm a homebody. She's not, but we would go do stuff around the stream times, like when I wasn't streaming and everything like that. And during the week, she doesn't want to go out and do things during the week, and I don't want to go out and do things during the week, so that didn't really help her. I did miss a bachelor party because of it. The dude was like, hey, we're going camping for a weekend, and I was like, yo, where you're going? My phone doesn't get signal. He's like, so, like, I can't stream if I go there. He's like, it's my bachelor party. I was like, well, is there a way for me to get internet? And he said, no. I was like, hey, man, I'm going to miss this one.
IRL stream the bachelor party.
It's dedication, yeah.
I was like, yeah, we're going to miss that one, man. And he still brings up to this day. He's like, you remember when you missed my bachelor party? I was like, maybe you should have bachelor parties in, like Civilization, where people are, instead of going to the middle of the woods.
Oh, God.
I think it's actually affected most of my IRL relationships pretty well. Like my boyfriend, it doesn't really come into it with him because we're long distance anyway. So and he's a big gamer as well. So anytime that I am with him in person, we're sitting gaming anyway, whether we're gaming together or gaming off time. Like that's all we do in person. If we're ignoring each other for 6 hours, we both know it's because we're on a game anyway. So that doesn't it's never really came into it with that. But like my two best friends IRL, like Charlie and Angel, the ones I play on Fortnite and stuff with a lot that you guys will see me with, is like we actually became a lot closer after they all got like an Xbox, and I was like, come on, you're getting this game, you're going to be on stream with me. And they were really like anxious about it at the start because they've not opened to the world of streaming at all. They didn't know what Twitch even was. They were like, what the hell, like they're not really gamers before this. And we have gotten so much more, I wouldn't even say closer, but we have an entirely different relationship, something like completely new to explore with each other, where it's like I've never seen that side of them and they've never really gotten to see that side of me. And we spend so much more time together, even though we all live within a 15-minute walking distance of each other. We now spend like 10 times more time with each other because we can like connect on something like this and like game together, or them just even be in my stream now. They're there all the time most of the time. And these aren't two girls who would normally watch streams at all, but they're like, hey, I want to be in there. It's like I've affected most of my relationships really well. I haven't had like a negative experience with it, I don't think, at all.
I think there's this lady that she wrote this book called Reality is Broken. Her name's Jane McGonigal, and she basically does video game studies. And what she said is the friends that you make online become closer a lot of times than the people you know in real life, because you're spending your time problem solving with those individuals and working towards a common goal, where in real life you're not always doing that. Like, you think about it, you go to work and like Deborah, you see Deborah, you're like, oh, Deborah, she's at the soda machine again. I'd like a soda.
Sure, Deborah.
But when you're playing with your friends, you guys are going towards a common goal, and you learn a lot about those people. And then in those lull times, like, you get to know more about them. Like, well, oh, I can't play today, I've got this going on. Whereas I just don't really have those conversations with other people. So she goes, like, she does a lot of studies into that and about that, and then how playing online, you playing video games online, gives you the opportunity to become the best version of yourself. And there's a whole study into that of what we play online and the roles we take when we play, and how that lets people know the best version. It's really interesting read, but I think that's pretty on point with like it gaming for me. My best friend in real life now, I met him video gaming, and he lived down the road from me, and he's probably one of the few people that I still talk to, like, in person, even through the pandemic. Like, he came over one time, he stood in the driveway and I stood on the roof. We just had a conversation the whole time.
The roof.
So, yeah, I have like where I'm at my stream room, the windows open up and I can walk out onto a part of the roof there.
Okay. It's
So
like you
we're-
gotta be very specific about standing on the roof.
Yeah, well, we were
With
social
social
distancing.
distancing,
Yeah,
yeah. You gotta be on the roof, and the other person's gotta be in the driveway.
yeah. The
It's not
neighbor,
6 feet.
the neighbor came home and he gets out of his car and he looks at me and he's like, "Roof, huh?" And I was like, "Yes." And I'm not taking the Christmas lights down. Don't worry about that, because it was probably like July.
Oh, they're
You
still
just-
up? Goodness.
You
Just
take
leave 'em
them
up.
down? What? Why?
Yeah, why take them down? Just turn them off. Easy.
Yeah. It's funny.
So I think this would be a good time to like open up the field for questions from chat if you guys have any. We'll take a few minutes to like kind of just kind of chill, you know. Not that we aren't already. It's been very laid back, which it's great.
I'm gonna be right back. Get myself another drink, go to the bathroom, and all that.
Sounds good. Come in first place again. Wait, why did that switch everybody around? What just happened?
Bamboozled again, Blue.
What the hell just happened? God damn it. Alright, hold on.
I mean, everything's still visible on the screen, so.
Well,
it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, it's just
You can still see us.
Sorry.
I'm
moving these around
I'm
again.
electric now.
No, it should. It'll
Look,
it'll switch them back. I'm pretty sure, Blue.
Will it? Oh,
Yeah.
damn it. Okay, hold on.
You're gonna be doing all this work just to switch
Hold
over.
on. Why did it do that? I was so
Just let me
confused.
live the life of electric for 5 minutes.
we all want to be
It's
Aggieland.
Freaky Friday, Twitch edition.
I think it moves it because then it kind of like shifts the order of like when did you come into the conversation? I guess I don't know, something like that.
Really, it's just
That's just a weird Discord thing they said in chat.
it's so weird. Wait, why is that not? There we go. I had the red thing around it, the border thing.
Yes, sorry, I made it all whack because the dog was giving my fiance a hard time about going outside. So I was like, please go out, I'll give you a treat.
Look, I feel that because I give Johnny issues too when he wants to take me outside, but I've gotten better with it. I mean, he still has to use the leash, but you know, I'm better at not choking myself trying to drag myself back into the house, you know. Oh god.
Just Boo's making fun of me.
What is he? So what else is new?
Because I moved up to where it says Kiri under me now, and he's
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, Kiri looking thick."
That's funny. Kiri looking thick. And wait, and Nick's grew his hair out quite a bit.
Just a touch.
Did I?
What the hell just happened?
You did.
It's all going all over the place.
It'll go back. It'll go back. Don't worry. I
better.
want to believe
It's
in
like,
it.
I hear you. Just hold out.
Who am I
Yeah.
now?
You are electric.
Believe.
Oh, I'm fine with
Go
that.
back.
Let's not make it go back. Hi, I'm Adri. I'm an absolute goddess.
You know what's really funny is like a couple of these actually fit, like Wild Spice and Shiny Shoes. Like I could totally see Wild Spice having the name Shiny Shoes, and I could totally
Fair.
see Agriland as a Wild Spice.
You know what's really funny, and I've gotten like made fun of this a couple of times. Shiny Shoes without the 1 and the 3. That name is still available on Twitch. I never took it, but I just like it. I've always been at Shiny Shoes with the 1 and the 3.
You should make another account and take that.
Yeah,
I thought about it.
you can make it your bot name.
Your doppelganger.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Your
bot
bot
account is Tiny Shoes.
Oh, there you go.
What a great name. Oh, so good. But yeah, I probably should. You're probably right.
Just in case you end up wanting it one day.
Yeah. But then I'd have to redo all this merchandise, and I can't have that. That's just too much now. All glasses.
It'll be evil twin. Throw everybody off.
I'll stream on there, but don't have a mustache. Like, get rid of it.
There was something Slurp said early on. It's gone now. Damn it. There was something Slurp said about like anxiety and depression.
Oh, yeah. I
That I was
think I
gonna-
read
Well,
that.
I think I
Yes.
thought about all the streamers like tend to actually have it. I think I
Yes.
saw something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get back to it either. Yeah, he said something like he was surprised at how many streamers deal with like anxiety and depression, considering like the types of personalities that you have from streamers on stream.
I think that it's weird because I like a lot of me. I like to say that like I don't fake anything on stream. That like I'm completely myself and stuff. But I guess even with
Yeah.
your friends and stuff in person, you're always kind of like presenting a not so true version of yourself, I guess, or at least for the most part I am. Like, you know, you're always presenting this person who's quite happy and bubbly, or you know, you don't really let anyone see that side of you. I don't ever want anyone to see the breakdowns or the, you know, like that. So I'll make up for that in my personality that I present, where I'm like, yeah, no, there's not a chance that I could be depressed. Like, I don't want people to. I feel like when you are going through those mental issues, you're so hyper aware, like not letting people see that.
Do
You
you
don't
think-
want people to know.
Do you think that's actually makes it harder on yourself mentally though? Like by putting that kind of like
100%.
pressure on yourself?
Yes.
100%. I'm a lot more open with it on stream now than I used to be. I used to be really anxious talking about it. I still don't talk about it that much because it's not something that like I feel like people need to know necessarily, but sometimes it does. Like, I am quite lucky where I don't ever normally tend to have like episodes or anything on stream, but I'm also a mild schizoaffective. Like, I suffer from schizoaffective disorder, so a lot of the time, or sometimes I could space out or, you know, like not exactly be all there on stream, and I've kind of had to get around that by like just having like the mods who are in there, they know, and they can explain, like, just give her some time, she's going to be back in a minute or two, or like, you know, she's going to be back to normal, she's just doing her own thing up in her own wee world and stuff. It's to be really hyper like aware of like not letting people know about that, but then I got too paranoid about it happening and not being able to explain what it was and having to explain it in the moment while I was already upset about it. So that's when I was like, right, I'm just gonna be relatively open with. I'm not like, I don't ever have it plastered anywhere. Like, hey, this is me. I have this, but I've got like a little command that pops up every so often, basically being like, hey, just a reminder if Kiri like seems a bit off or like sporadic, like she's just taking her time. She'll get back to you, blah blah blah. Because I was like, that's a better way for me to deal with it than like I guess have to deal with it in the moment.
My wife deals with like social anxiety and everything else like that, and that's something that I've never really like dealt with and experienced. And I will say, like, if you were in the chat and you don't experience those kind of things like anxiety or anything like that, really take time to understand what those individuals are going through. Because for me, like, let's say like I go to Walmart and I buy something that I don't want. For me, it's like, okay, I just go return it. I don't care. That doesn't affect me. But she has to mentally prepare to walk up to that counter and talk to that individual and say, hey, I don't need this anymore. And that's hard for someone who doesn't deal with it all the time to always understand that. So
Yeah.
that's one thing I really would say for everybody. It's good for us to try and put ourselves in their shoes and understand what they're going through.
I get a lot more of my anxieties kind of go into the real world rather than in Twitch. Like I feel like this is mostly my safe space, and I feel very like comfortable, and this is kind of my coping mechanism is like being just here in this type of environment. But like can't remember the last time that I went up to anywhere and ordered my own food. Like literally it has to have been like maybe like 8 or 9 years ago. I had to have been really young. Like I had a panic attack 2 weeks ago when I was in my boyfriend's dad's car because we were going to McDonald's, and then we realized that I was sitting on the wrong side for the drive-thru, so that they wanted me to talk, and I literally like started crying. He had to climb over me. It wasn't that big a deal, but I thought it was a huge deal because I'm like, no, I realized what was happening. I was like, holy shit, I can't do this. I was not prepared at all, and it was like a meltdown moment for me.
There we go.
Like anxiety is going to come back in the real world. Yes.
Now our names are all right again.
Yo,
I was enjoying being you.
You were the best me.
I cannot lie when I say that I have eaten what my wife has gotten from McDonald's so many times, and she's eaten my meal, because we get up there, we go to order, and she freezes and doesn't know what to do, and then just orders something that she would never eat. And then we go to sit down, and I look at her, and I'm like, you don't like that.
Why did you get that?
I know. She's
It's
like, I
me.
panic.
I panic. I rehearse my order. Like, it doesn't matter where I'm going. I will rehearse my order.
That's what we're talking about.
Consistently. I have to be ready, especially if I'm going to a new place. I will be looking up that damn menu for at least an hour and deciding.
She always just gets chicken strips, no matter what. She's just like, I'll get the
Candies.
Chicken
I feel
titties,
so bad for my
steak, that's
boyfriend
all
most of the
choices.
time because he's the one who has to order my food for me like every time, and I'm also a really fucking picky eater, so I get like everything plain. You have to get little extras added on top. It's like an hour-long order, and I'm sitting there like, yep, I can't order this myself because I'm too embarrassed, too anxious. I don't want them to judge me for getting free triple cheeseburgers from McDonald's, so you can do that. And he just kind of sits and looks at me, and he's just he loves me, so he's gonna do it for me. But I can just tell sometimes that that's a drain on him as well. Like he's doesn't necessarily want to be ordering this massive order and dealing with it every single time. And I can tell sometimes he's looking at me and he's like, "You can do it this one time," and I'm like, "No, not today. I'm not ready."
I think that's the one good thing that I kind of got out of Twitch, because I'm like night and day when it comes to like my IRL self and my stream self. Like in IRL, I'm kind of like introverted into myself and everything like that. And streaming has kind of like helped me push past that, because before when I first started streaming, I used to it used to take me forever to go live. Like it'll be like, okay, I'm going live at 6 o'clock, and then you start getting those butterflies and the anxiety and stuff like that. And next you know, it's 7 o'clock, and then it's 8 o'clock, and then it's 2 years later, and then you're finally streaming. I definitely has felt that, where it was like really, really difficult. But then as I kept like just pushing that button and going live and everything like that, I became more sociable. I've actually ended up meeting like a lot of you guys and stuff like that, and it's like the biggest that I ever really had in a friend circle, because it's always been like just me and 2 other people that I've known my entire life. And then as I became a streamer, I was able to like interact and actually talk to people and stuff like that. So it's kind of like helped me grow better as a person. That's actually a lot, seeing that I was in the military for like 6 years. So it was like usually I just showed up for work and then I went straight home, and people would be like, "Hey, you want to go do this?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." And it just was the same thing every day. It was like, I'll go to work, I'll go home, and I had like little interaction with anyone. So
yeah, it's definitely done that for me too. That and working customer service really helped temper my anxiety and enables me to talk to people and be more myself and stuff. I still definitely have those anxieties. They'll probably always be there, but I am a lot better than I was even a year ago, I would say.
I think bartending did that as well for me. It's kind of weird. I think being, as soon as I'm in the working environment and I'm in like behind a bar, because that's all I've done for 2 years, I'm really comfortable in that environment. I feel like I'm on top of things and I'm in charge and this is my domain. It's kind of almost a safe space for me as well. Other than the anxieties that come related with work, like about you not doing good enough, or like worries about losing your job and stuff. Like, take those out of it. Like, I feel very comfortable because bartending's kind of given me that ability to talk to loads of different types of people, kind of learn different personalities, and like learn how to like deal with different types of personalities. But also, like, I can only do that when I'm in the bar. As soon as I like try to transfer those skills outside of that, and I can't do it, like as soon as I'm not in work, I'm like, oh, I'm back to being an anxious nutshell.
Streaming was actually one of my actually gave me the opportunity to actually go to a like a bar or a mixer for like the first time, because I'm like 28 years old and I've never been to one, and then I ended up going to one on the for PAX South, and it was like felt 100% out of place at first, just going in there and just seeing all these different people and stuff like that. But then after, like, I was there with my friend, so luckily he was kind of there to help out, whatever like that. So we ended up like getting to know a lot of different people, and it like really worked out because they were people that were like also streamers and stuff like that. So I was able to like connect and actually kind of like talk to them and not feel like out of place or anything like that. So it was definitely a great experience, and I don't think I would never done that if it was because I don't think I've ever done that if it wasn't for streaming, honestly. So it's definitely opened up a lot of different social interactions that I normally wouldn't go out of my way to get into.
Ghost had a question for Kiri, saying, being as anxious as you are, like, how did you get into streaming?
It's weird because I've had a Twitch account for about 2 years now, and I was streaming. Like, when I first had that and I was streaming, I wasn't streaming to stream at all, if that made sense. I was literally the reason I was streaming was more to actually get clips with my friends that I was playing with at that time and just make it easier. It's so hard for me to remember like what I was like when I first started streaming. It was like that long ago. I think I just wanted, like, I've always felt, or I always wanted to be more comfortable online, if you know what I mean. I watched YouTubers and stuff. I wanted to do what they were doing. I watched like that, and I wanted to be like that. And I realized that like I wasn't ever gonna do that. I couldn't do that. But then when I watched the first few streamers I did watch, I saw like maybe something that I could do and I could feel comfortable doing. And at the time as well, I didn't have a lot of friends. Like, I kind of lost like pretty much a lot of like my social group in my life. I just kind of became an introvert and didn't leave my house for like 4 years previously. So I was just like, this seems like an avenue that I could maybe talk to people again and like start being normal again. And it has helped me be a little bit more normal, and like I've learned social cues and stuff that I maybe had forgotten from Twitch, and I can apply them in real life and not maybe be such a freak. I don't know. I answered that question really badly there, but I don't know how to answer that.
I told you there's no answering anything badly. There's no bad questions.
Well.
Nothing.
I think you covered it.
I think you nailed it.
I don't know why like that had a music to my alert. I went into Stream Elements and I slid the sound all the way down to 0, so there would be no music or sound effects or anything in this panel stream, like what happened with T-Sin.
Don't lie to us, Blue. We both know. We both know you broke it somehow.
Somehow, some way, the technology is just gonna give me the big middle finger. So.
Yep.
Yo, I applaud anybody who has like deals with social anxiety and does actually hit that go live button and puts themselves out there, because I mean, that's a big step. And I know for like a lot of people like me, I get excited to hit the go live button a lot of times. Like, I'm like, heck yeah, we're gonna hit go live and I'm gonna play games, and it's gonna be a good time. But that's a mindset that I've cultivated, but I know that not everybody feels that. And my wife, they had been trying to get her to stream forever, like since I started, and finally some stuff fell in line. We hit enough goals and everything, and I remember she was like, hey, I'm gonna play Roller Coaster Tycoon on stream. I was like, all right, we're gonna get you in there and go. and she literally, like, she got done, so she went the whole time, and she was nervous and everything. She got off, and I was like, see, you did great. And she looks at me, she's like, I haven't sweated in a long time. She's like, look how sweaty I am. And she like lifts up her, and she's so sweaty. I was like, why were you so nervous? And she's like, I just don't like talking in front of people. I was like, so are you going to go again next weekend? She's like, never again in my life. It's like,
Aw. She did so well too.
My first month of streaming was like that, where it ended like before I hit play. Like I said before, I get the shits, and then during the whole time, then it's just pretty much you're just sweating the entire stream. And then it's the same thing the next day. You're about to go live, and all of a sudden you gotta go take a shit. And it's like, okay, this is how it's gonna be. But now I'm like so used to it. I'm in that mindset where I'm excited to hit that play live, and I don't get the shits anymore. So that's what I know.
I can't relate to that. I having Crohn's disease, like it's always gonna be there. But I think that's also something else that I've dealt with anxiety on stream related is actually with health, like because I do suffer from Crohn's disease, it's kind of like very up in the air. Like I can like be on stream all day, or I can have to like go back and forward to the toilet like 6 times in 1 minute, and that's always like not having the ability to do like BRB screens and stuff if I'm like going straight from the PS4, or also just like not wanting to like annoy people, or like even watching like sometimes it'll just come over me and you can literally see it happen on stream. It's just a wave of sweat will just start pouring down my head, and I'm like, oh no, it's gonna happen. And I'm like, guys, I'm gonna have to hit that end button because I'm about to puke everywhere. And it's like, it's really annoying being able to like, especially if you're having a good content day and you're just enjoying yourself, and then suddenly you're like, oh, I'm dying. Not actually dying, but I feel like I'm dying right now. But this is the end of that. That was nice that laugh, but it's not fun.
So Have you guys had like any instances of like where you felt out of place or uncomfortable, or like you didn't belong, and then something happened that kind of like made you feel more at ease or more comfortable, or like you fit in more?
Yeah.
I have a really good like memory that always like, or not, it's not even one, it's multiple, and that is the tune. Like Jordan, first time he played a clip of me playing music and stuff on his stream, and he genuinely like he hyped me up so much. He looked like he genuinely enjoyed it. He was just talking like it was a whole other thing to me, because I idolize Jordan as a streamer, but also as a musician. Like I don't know, it just made me feel so good. I've not felt good about my music in a long time, and I've said that to him. Like I told him how much it meant to me, because it just lifted me up in a way that I've not been lifted up like before at all. I never felt like that. I don't even know how to explain that emotion that I got when he did that, and like what it sent for me. It was pure joy, I guess. Like it was like something completely else. I was like crying when it happened.
Aww.
And it made me feel so welcomed. And now his community is like my absolute family. Like that's my favorite place to be. Like there's not anywhere that I feel more safer. Like even I love my own community. I love you guys, but Jordan and like the fucking degenerates in there, that is my complete and utter rock and safe space.
Aww.
Like there's not a more accepting community, I honestly don't think. And I think you guys all like, you're all part of that community as well.
Yeah,
like, you guys spend so much time there.
Can vouch.
We all overlap. Definitely by virtue of T-San and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually where I started feeling more at home, especially like getting nominated for Streamer of the Week. I was like, holy fuck.
And winning.
Yeah.
The fact I was even nominated and won, I was like, maybe I do belong. And it was fucking amazing to me to see that. It was surreal. But
I think
ever since, I was
a huge help in it. Because what I will say is, I've not seen anything like T-San in any of the other streaming groups that I've been in, or networking groups or whatnot. And now I don't join any other ones because honestly, I just have such high expectations, and I have like, I don't know, I have such like high like I don't feel like I need to be anywhere else other than T-San. Like I found like a really nice home there, and I think the mods in there do an amazing job, like an absolutely amazing job, because they run everything so well and so like fairly. And you don't get that in the other ones. The fact that I hate being in like follow for follow groups and things like that. Or like there's plenty. I think I joined a female group the other day because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a go. Get an all female streamer group, see what they're going on in there. And it says no follow for follow, but pretty much every post in there is like, oh, hitting for affiliate, you know, blah blah blah. If you come and watch my content, I'll watch yours. It's not like they don't ever say follow for follow, but it's like, oh, if you like, you know, when you see people interacting in comments and it's like, oh, I followed you.
Hey, I followed you.
I hope you,
Yeah.
yeah, this is my
Yeah.
link, and then you
Pretty
see
much
them being
saying
like, oh,
follow for
I
follow.
hit follow on you as well, and I'm gonna watch yours too. And it's like, but you guys don't know each other, so why are we watching each other's content? Like, oh, I couldn't do that for every person I met, you know what I mean? Otherwise, I'd be watching streams all the fucking time, and I don't have time for that. Like, no time for that. But I don't see that in T-San at all. Like,
I don't
like,
either. They
I think there's a lot.
encourage
It's like an
originality,
etiquette. Yeah.
making friends.
Honestly, I would. Honestly, I don't think I would be streaming like today if it wasn't for T-San, because I've tried streaming in the past, and like I've been trying to stream back in 2011, 2015, stuff like that, and I finally like sat down and started streaming for real, like in October of last year, and just being part of T-San has helped out a lot when it came to that. So definitely do agree. And hi, welcome Raiders.
I feel like because
T-San.
because I am like taken as weird sometimes. Like a lot of people are like, dude, you're weird. And I feel that sometimes I don't like hearing that, because like sometimes I'm just a normal dude just saying things that I think's funny, and people are like, nah man, you're pretty weird. I'm like, but why is what I said weird and it's still funny though, right? And they're like, yeah, but people just don't say that. I'm like,
Yeah,
why are you being mean to me because I just said something that you maybe wouldn't say all the way? So I feel like sometimes it's hard because people will peg hole like you into that, oh well, this is just a weird dude, this dude just says weird stuff all the time. And I'm like, I say normal things too every once in a while. I'll talk about normal things, but I think we need to I wish people just step outside that and say, you know, okay, maybe this person said something weird, but is what they said funny, or could I get along with this person? Like, there are plenty of people who, like, their personality I may not mesh with very well, like that they might not be something, but I can still drop by the streams, watch them, like hang out with that person because I enjoy them as an individual.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I feel like we get so caught up on everybody's putting on like their professional face, their like game face. They want to, you know, I don't want people to think I'm weird, I don't want people to do this, that. I just have fun streaming. Like, you can just have fun streaming sometimes, and if you're gonna say something weird, like, I'm gonna laugh, and I know there's gonna be other people out there that are gonna laugh about it too. But if that isn't your thing, I mean, okay, make that decision, but don't make the decision before you meet me and just say, oh, I heard you were weird, because I've been told that. They're like, hey, yeah, I didn't go to your content because somebody told me you were weird, and I'm like, okay. Well,
I heard that and I raced to go watch it. I was like, oh, good sell. And now we're here.
That dude's weird. Yes,
that dude's
he
weird?
is.
Fuck yeah. All right,
I'm trying to figure out who's spreading. I've never even heard this.
I haven't heard that either, honestly.
Dude, I've been told that by quite a few people, like just other streamers and stuff like that. They're like, you've said some weird things. And I have a story. I went to TwitchCon and I was with some people that I met there, and we meet Harris Heller. And he's talking to us and he's talking to them. So they're all like starstruck, like talking to him, like, oh yeah, so excited to meet you. And he's already seen them a couple times. So he tells them, he was like, I hope I don't see you guys again today. It's like you guys are stalking me. And they're like, oh no. And then he looks at me, he's like, not you either, right? And I was like, oh, you'll see me, but I'll be in your closet later.
And that's how he got a restraining order.
And he looks at me and he said, what's your name? And he flips over my badge. He's like, Shiny Shoes, okay. So, and then he leaves, and they're like, I can't believe you said that to him. Why would you ever say that to him? I'm like, because cowards, he will never remember your name. I was like, he will remember the day Shiny Shoes threatened to be in his closet. I'll tell you that.
He'll check his closet every night now.
Exactly. And guess what? He's just a guy.
Yeah, like,
awesome.
He laughed. He thought that was funny. Do you think he cares if you guys just said bye to him? Like, we spend so much time like putting on these fake faces and everything. Just be yourself. Like, I'm gonna connect with that so much better.
Now he's gonna wake up in a cold sweat.
Yeah.
He probably does every day.
He's like
He
a week
checks
from
his
now, he's gonna
closet.
make a video. He's going, guys, so I've been having these nightmares, man. And it's just gotta be a picture of me.
Yep.
Just stroking your beard in the closet.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember they're like, I can't believe you said that, and I couldn't believe that no one else said it. That's the thing? Like, I couldn't believe nobody else was like, oh yeah, I'll be in your room later, like that, because it was funny. I laughed about it, and that's why, like, I've gravitated towards the people I've gravitated towards on Twitch, because like Blue says weird things. He does say weird things.
Never.
But I think they're funny most of the time. Most of the time they make me laugh. Slurp says weird things.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny. Like, you guys say weird things. It's funny.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't put on, like, everybody wants to put on a show. Just be you. People are going to react to that really well. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
I tell people all the time, like, if you feel like you're weird or you're strange or you're bizarre, whatever, embrace the shit out of that. You know what I mean? Like, be more weird, be more strange, be more bizarre. Like, go full tilt into it, because that's who you are. And if that's who you are, that's the best you. If you try and, like, be someone else or be something else, it's not really you. You're putting on a mask.
Exactly. I already do that for customer service. Why would I want to do that more? My
like,
customer service voice, man.
Oh no, you don't want to hear mine.
Yeah, mine neither.
I pretty much give facilitation. Like, that's my job. I talk to crowds of people, and I teach them how to, like, be better managers and everything. And we all get surveys that get turned in to us about basically how we're doing, because they'll have multiple different facilitators. And I mean, I do it the same way that I'm on stream. Like, I try to talk, I try to interact, and I'm not gonna say that I'm not weird with it sometimes, but sometimes I just say off the wall things to these people, and, like, I always get that in my comments. They're like, he made it interesting, he made it funny, because he said things that nobody else has told us. He was real with us. So I take that to streaming as well. I mean, just be real with people.
Yeah, I think my stream in general has started to become more and more open of, like, interest and stuff like that. Even my alerts to these days, if anyone can catch the references to my alerts, they're pretty much people of culture, and they usually catch on to those noises, and they're like, hey, I know where that noise or sound effect is from. I was like, oh, okay.
Sometimes
I
we
see.
shouldn't know.
Yeah, sometimes you should know.
Oh, absolutely. Sorry.
It's all good. Alright, let's see here. So, what advice would you give people who, and this isn't just people, like, in Twitch, like, outside of Twitch, just people who feel out of place, or like they don't belong, like they don't fit in. What advice would you give them?
I'd say look, like, the things that you're interested in, kind of going on what Nix was saying, go look for those groups. Like, don't sit around and just, like, think that there's no one who's into the same type of stuff as you, because 100% there is. But if you sit there and you wait for it to come to you, you're not going to find it, because most of the time, like, for me, being a huge weep and being, like, really too into anime and getting too obsessed with things, and, you know, and enjoying it too much. Like, I found so many other people who do get too emotional over it, who do enjoy it too much, who do get so hyped over it, and I've been able to find that. Wouldn't have found it without going online. And I hate the internet for the most part, but it's also really good for some things. Like, you can find a lot of groups on there, and you can find people who are going to like the same shit as you. I'm such a granny. I hate the internet. I hate technology. There is, like, you know, like, I would just say, like, look for things. Like, you know, like, just try and find, like, it's not as hard as you think to find people who have the same interests as you.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess it sounds weird, but be comfortable with being a little uncomfortable, and don't be afraid to reach out. If you see something in someone's stream going on, don't be afraid to talk and chat and be active, because that's how you make friends. That's how Blue and I were friends. I came in and I was like, oh yeah, I like this. So I started bouncing various jokes off him, and yeah, don't be afraid to just kind of slide in there.
I hate to be this person, but I'm gonna have to dip because it's 2 a.m. and I'm also getting like really bad toothache, and I don't want to like not concentrate properly. But I'll still be in chat and I'll still watch with you guys.
It's
I'm
all
really
good.
sorry, but thank you for having me, Blue.
It's all good.
I've
We're
had
ending
like
in
3
10 minutes anyway.
paracetamol leaving on this stream, and the pain is not going.
It's okay.
So I will see you guys
Feel
soon, and
better.
it's been lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been honestly lovely meeting you all, and I hope to see. I'll definitely be in your guys' streams and be seeing you guys because you're all such lovely people. And
I
thank you for
appreciate
having
you
me.
joining.
We love you, Kiri.
I love you guys. Bye.
Good night. Get better.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
You got this?
Names.
Hey.
Can I get
Yeah.
the names? I got this. I got this. Boom. Wait, why'd that? Oh, because I locked it. I locked it, that's why. There we
You
are.
locked it.
I locked it.
Shiny
Locked
shoes is
it.
2 people.
I have become 2.
Shiny
The
shoes.
two
is
have become
morphing.
one. There we are. Boom. I'm getting
There,
okay at
that's
this.
better.
I'm becoming a big boy streamer, y'all.
Best stream.
It's taken time, but he has done it.
Such a
Um,
long time.
I same thing though. Like, so I honestly, when I grew up, like throughout school, pretty much if you were gonna categorize me in there, you would put me in with the jocks and the class clown, because I got voted like class clown every year in the yearbook. But I'm gonna be honest, the friendship groups that I was always jealous of were the goth kids. They had each other's back in a way that no one else did. And like, I guess that's my advice to you. Find your goth friends. Not necessarily they're goth, like hypothetically. Find those people that are nice, they enjoy the same things as you, they want to hang out with you. Like, I got into Magic the Gathering after high school, and I went up there. I remember my first night, I was like, I built myself a little deck, and I was like, hey everybody, it's me, I'm gonna play Magic. And the first kid stomped me into the ground, and he literally was just like, I can't believe you brought that up there. Like, this dude was a serious jerk to me. And I was like, oh, maybe this isn't for me. But then I play my next match, the very next match, and the kid's so nice. He's like, oh, hey, you misplayed here, you want to do this instead. And like, that's how you find those friends, doing stuff that's outside your comfort zone, because that kid taught me to be a better player. And like, he was really friendly. Not everybody's gonna be a jerk. You will find those doing the activities that you love, but like, just go find those people that you can mesh with. Even on Twitch, if you're going to start Twitch, don't watch people just because they've got big numbers or because everybody else is watching them, because there are a bunch of false prophets on Twitch. Go find people you enjoy watching. Find people that speak to you, because you will not feel like you are going to their stream because you have to. You will be going to their stream because you want to. And I think that's a big part of it. Find those type of people and do that. That's what
Find
I'd say.
cool people.
Hell
If
yeah.
you like
Great
bowling,
advice.
find bowlers. If you like football, find someone who likes
Yeah.
football. Like,
If you like the Giants, you're probably just going to want to pack it up this year.
no, I like our directions right now. So I like the direction we're heading. We're showing fight. I like what Wild Spice said. Find your
Yeah.
tribe. I love that.
Yes, find your tribe. I agree 100%.
Pansy.
Specifically, go to smaller streams where I can interact with the streamer solely so I can learn who they are. I like that. What if I don't want to find people?
Just Boo, they don't want to find you either.
It's too late. You already found the people, Boo. You're a big
Yeah,
bush,
yeah.
and we all know it.
You're already in. You're one of us already. It's too late.
Yeah.
Yep. One of us. One
Boo
of
likes
us.
it.
Google,
Yeah.
gobble, Google,
You turned me into
gobble.
Naruto.
Also, can I just say, like, Nyx has the perfect voice for like the late night 1-900 kind of radio.
Oh my
Like-
god, I was
like-
actually gonna comment.
It was
on
like,
that.
I just want to hear him be like, "Welcome to the Love Hour with Nick Saltios."
Exactly. It's like it's like warm and sensual, and I'm just like, yeah, you can
got-
read the phone book, and I'll be listening.
Yeah, you got the
I,
better
uh,
white thing going
Lull
on.
me to sleep.
Honestly, I think it's just the mic itself because I personally do not like the sound of my voice. Well, I used to not like it as much, but after you've heard it for so long, you just get used to it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's smooth.
It's smooth like butter.
All right. So, any parting things you want to say? Anybody?
I love you.
We love you.
That's all I really got. I'm starting to fantasize about food, shoving my face.
What if my biggest problem is needing to find myself? Well, turn on the light. That might help.
Look in the mirror.
Look in the
Better
mirror.
found
Yes.
yourself.
Yes.
Touch yourself. Well, not like that, but like, like to
Touch your
get
nose.
aware that you're there.
Touch yourself.
That
And,
escalated.
and now we're into the adult late night portion of the panel.
It
Just Nyx.
I got a sound effect just for that. We're good to go.
honestly, Ghostface, I don't know how old you are. I'm 30. You will never 100% say I have found myself. You grow along the way, and you continue to change along the way. So, just doggo. Just
Doggo.
continue to find what makes you happy and pursue it.
Aw.
Wise words. Adult panel, turn on my PC. On my way, my time has come.
Because he wants my food. Say.
So I'm looking to see who's on that we can raid. And I'm open to suggestions. Though I think I
Molly's
know.
on.
You know who?
I know she's
Molly's
been on.
on.
Yeah,
Molly's
I know
on?
she's been on all day. I don't know how much longer she's going.
Actually,
Because I
you know
watched
what?
her at like noon.
I got who where he made my mascot. The dude D. He created D, and I think he started just a little while ago. He was actually in here for a while, so I think we're gonna raid Bulldog. But I appreciate you guys. Like, thank you for
Me too.
joining.
Oh, it was a
I want
pleasure.
I want to
fun.
do this like once a month kind of thing. Like, kind of like Slurp inspired me because like, with the whole like do one kind of heavy, one kind of lighthearted, one heavy, one lighthearted. So like my next one, I want it to be kind of fun. So if any of you have any suggestions, and if you want to be on it, DM me. Let me know. Let me know in the Discord. Whatever. I'm all about it. And I'll talk about anything really. So as long as it's not like politics, because fuck that. So all right. My next
Navi,
stream.
come be on it.
My next stream will be Tuesday afternoon. We finished Ghosts of Tsushima, so we'll probably be doing what is it called? Last of Us 2. When are you guys streaming next?
Me probably tomorrow. It'll
Nice.
happen.
Tuesday?
Give you guys shout outs here.
Tuesday. Yes.
Are you
You don't sound very
sure?
positive about that.
Listen. This child.
My next stream will be our wedding. Ah,
Yes!
Woo!
Yes! I can't wait for that.
GG.
October 4th at noon, we'll be streaming our wedding, but I'll be
Hell
streaming
yeah.
at some point after the wedding's all done. But yeah, October 4th at noon. If you want to watch a couple of nerds get married, watch my channel.
Noon, what time zone?
I'll be there.
Yeah, the
Sorry.
time
Oh
zone.
my gosh, noon Eastern time.
There you
I keep
go.
forgetting about time zone.
It's all
Yeah.
good. Alright,
And
so
I'll be streaming tomorrow at 6 p.m. CST playing Minecraft
ooh.
with some
Hell
friends.
yeah.
I actually have to download that. I promised someone I'd try it, even though I'm like I haven't seen the allure of it myself.
I-
But like
I jump
I'm
between the two.
told when you play with friends, it's so much more fun. So
Oh,
like,
it definitely is.
I'm gonna give it a look.
As Just
Um,
Boo will tell you, I'm the best Minecraft person ever to play the game. He'll tell you.
what about when are you and Boo playing Destiny?
Yeah, Boo, when are we gonna play Destiny?
Alright, so
Destiny.
those are the raid commands. If you're subbed or if you're not subbed, just copy and paste. We're gonna show Bulldog some love. He's an awesome dude. Made my mascot. He's a good friend of Ravens. He's just an all around awesome dude. I highly recommend you checking him out. Let me just make sure I got this spelled right, because I always like screw up at least once. Okay, yeah, I did it right. I'm a big boy screamer.
You do so well.
Yeah, I'm so
I'm
proud of you.
halfway,
Guys.
I'm so proud.
I'm halfway to the Reaper, by the way, Blue.
To the
Halfway
what?
there. We're halfway there to the Reaper.
The Reaper? Oh no! Oh, I
Yay!
just had one. Yes, I actually have to order more because I've only got one Reaper left, and then after that I have to change it to the Habanero as the channel point thing. So I'm not looking forward to that. They both suck, but I'll order more. I won't. I'm not ordering more ghost ones, but I'm definitely ordering more spicy ones. Anyway.
See.
We're gonna raid. I love you guys. Thank you for
a good one.
participating. It's been a blast. We'll see you again hopefully next month for another one.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Okay. Did it go through? Yes.